Be Crave presents Afterglow Sundays on the current from Crossfade Commons. Verse, voice, and witness. Another Stays In production.
Greetings, blessings, love, light, beautifulness, wonderful day. What is this? This is Afterglow Sundays, Crossfade Commons, the current from the Stays In verse. I am your host, the Lyrical Exodus, aka Big Crave, and I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, Miss Lady, and the phenom, the icon, the voice of the culture of creativity, Prayerna. I pray today that you guys are blessed, that your heart opens up to just some wonderful things we have today. I am so elated about this guest. If you know anything about culture, cultivation, media, and an outflow of love, this individual here will bless your soul. Prayerna. First, I'm going to get a wellness check and check on my girl, Miss Lady. How are you today?
I'm excited. I'm excited about this. We've been looking forward to this for weeks. So,
Yes,
I am just like giddy, like it's Christmas morning.
yes, I am too. I am too. Also, Prayerna, how are you today, my love? You are looking spectacular today, phenomenal today.
Thank you.
And I want,
Yes, hello, Big Crave, Miss Lady. Thank you for having me, inviting me to your show. I'm very thrilled to be here. It is early morning for me, so
yes,
I'm
I
still
do know.
half asleep.
Oh, well, I thank you. And I want to say this in your native language. Doña Banya, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know you
My
didn't see that
pleasure.
coming. I know you didn't see that coming. Namaste
I
to
did
you
not.
always,
Namaste. Namaste.
always, always to you, always. I want to start by a brief explanation of who is Prayerna. For the world just to hear your breath, hear the pneuma from your soul. Who is Prayerna?
Well, I was asked before as well, who is Prayerna? And I always say that I am the girl next door. Having said that, that's one thing that I've always carried with me from when I was young. I just wanted to stay grounded and just think that I'm just the person next door. Having said that, I am the founder of Himalayan Soul on Clubhouse. What else? I'm a connector. I am a curator. Do you still see me? Because my window just crashed.
Oh, we still see you.
Oh, you're
Looking
fine.
good. Looking
You can
beautiful.
flow with it. You're good to go. You're good to go.
Okay, that is bizarre because now I don't see anything. I don't see you guys, anything. So I don't know why that happened while I navigate. So yeah, connector, curator, contributor. I like to bring people together. I am also an entrepreneur and a new director and a producer of a film that I'm working on.
And we're definitely going to get into that. Definitely get into that. I done my homework, right? So during my research, there were certain items that I came across dealing with you. And there was one quote that I had, and it was an interview with Sedima. I think it was Salima. I forget her name. But you made a phrase, the saying, healing the world through music. And that was very important to me because I believe music is the cultural binder. It has no color, it has no boundaries, it's formless. What did you mean by that statement, healing the world through music? What do you mean by that statement?
Healing the world with music. Music doesn't recognize borders, boundaries, language. It is a very collective. Music it's in the most highest vibration. The world was created by sound.
Oh,
So
come on.
whenever we are, if you notice the sound in my, where I come from, the word Om, that's what they say the world was created with, Om. And I think it was in 432 megahertz. That's the highest frequency. So, and we all feel that, right? Music heals the world. Each one of us, as we get healed, the world heals together. So because of its high vibration and its frequency, and just artists, when they express to the world, they give their heart and soul out. Like, you mean it. You're singing, you mean it. You're playing, you mean it. And that energy is felt by everybody. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree totally. And here's the thing, because my experience with you, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to push ourselves towards it. We're going to flow into it. I have a love of music that, coming onto your platform, I've never experienced before. So coming into Himalayan Soul, and that experience has helped me tremendously just to hear and actively listen towards frequency and tones. And we'll get into that later on, but the way you present it and how it's laid out is phenomenal. I want to also briefly talk about Himalayan Soul and what was the concept behind Himalayan Soul. How did that concept come through? Overseeing, now listen guys, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this in the current. Listen, over 31,000 followers in a house. Y'all need to clap for that. 31,000 followers in this house. So having this cultivation, having this good soil, having this fruit that you have, how did that come about? How did that come into fruition? What was the manifestation behind that beautiful power that you have in Himalayan Soul?
There are several components to that. When I started Himalayan Soul, it was very Himalayan region based, and as I have always, I love people, I love cultures, I love traveling, and I intentionally started turning Himalayan Soul into an international house where I'm inviting folks from all parts of the world, all countries. So when I started the jam session, the first day I was featuring a sarangi player. Sarangi is an instrument. It's a string instrument coming from Nepal and India. It traveled from, I believe, the Middle East. So he was there, and I had about 60, 70 musicians on the stage improvising, jamming. So we had about 2,000 people in the audience. So the jam session, it was a Tuesday. So the jam session started on Tuesday. So I started calling it Tuesday International Jam Session. And this was always my dream. I always wanted people from all backgrounds and all different genres coming together and just improvising. It's the most beautiful thing because it's so organic. It's in the moment. And another beautiful aspect of it is that you have to leave your comfort zone to improvise. You can't say this is my genre or this is how I play. You just have to play with somebody else who probably is from Iran and you're in the US, your musicality is different. Of course, the basis, the foundation is there, but then there's this dynamic that happens during the jam session that is just outwardly, and yeah, and we make it. We were doing this every week, and but besides that, I was doing other shows like open mic and featuring artists and all that, and I always made sure that Himalayan Soul is all about community. It wasn't about the host. It wasn't about the founder or the house itself. We used to call it club, but it was about people. Like even the audience is on the stage for me always. And I made sure that's inclusive. I made sure that all languages are welcomed. And so here we go. We had musicians from all over the world, and you would hear like languages, all languages, like Farsi, Arabic, Nepali, Hindi, English, German, all in one stage. So that, and I think that I just wanted to cultivate, the community and share my love for people coming together and making magic together. Long answer.
No. It's wonderful.
And that's a
And
very
it
good
pushes
show.
me and it guides me into a place to say, on Crossfade Commons here and on Afterglow Sundays, we have this thing. We have this thing that's very, very personal, but yet it exposes you to us. So we call it the receipt, right?
Hmm.
And here's where I get excited because this is the time where I get to learn something about a treasure, about a thing that the world might not know about Prayerna, but she's willing to share. So, what treasure or receipt have you brought for us today?
Well, you asked me to bring one treasure, and I had to go to my garage and dig things because, again, somebody who's moved so much from one country to another country to another country, I couldn't bring as many things from home. But seems like I bought some stuff. And I found a couple of things. I don't know what you want me to share. I have.
Whatever you want, sweetie, whatever you want to share, whatever your soul resonates with, whatever that frequency is from that object, we're willing to share. We're willing to share.
Well, I have.
We're here for it.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, the lag is
Oh, you're
yeah, it's
beautiful.
disturbing me. The
Oh,
lag.
you're
So
beautiful. Trust me,
You're
you're beautiful. We can hear you just fine. Oh, look at the book.
this is the little poetry book I used to have, and I used to write wherever I went. Whether even if it was at a bar, I would write. So this was like when I was in my perhaps like early 20s. So somehow I brought it with me, which means it's quite valuable.
Yes.
And then I also have these letters when I came to America, which is 25 years ago. My parents were still in Nepal. So my parents and I used to write letters to each other. So I have letters from my dad and mom. I found them yesterday, and I couldn't believe how it made me so emotional. I was so young. I came by myself to the US, very unknown, like I just came. So that was one thing. And then what else is there? Oh, yeah. And then somehow I found this article. Again, I was in my early 20s. I had a boutique where we used to make clothes for people who custom made clothes. So I owned the boutique, and the national paper had an article on me. So I brought that with me. Again, I was so young. I had no idea what was going on. So I brought those. Yeah. It's still black and white, if you can see.
Yes, I see it. I
So
see it.
I have that nice little warm feeling. I'm so honored and privileged. We're just so privileged that you're sharing this with us, and it feels like, I mean, you talked about how you felt it when you went to go look through your garage. Did it bring back some memories for you?
Yeah, it was very emotional. I had somehow packed in a little suitcase. And I found many things like photos from the past and all of that. But especially when I was reading the letters from my parents, it was like, oh my gosh, I can never complete reading it. I leave it in the middle because it's so difficult for me to go through the entire letter because of being homesick and mom and dad really worrying about me. Like back in the days, we didn't have like WhatsApp, or like we weren't, it would really make you to make a call, an international call, which was so expensive. We had to get those scratch cards, and it was $10 for 30 minutes or
Oh,
things
I
like
remember
that.
those days.
I remember
Yes.
those. Hmm.
So how long had it been since you looked at this stuff before you were gathering the things? How long had it been?
It's been a minute. I had forgotten I had those letters. So that you guys started that. You started me to get into my, like, looking into, my beautiful memories. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you for sharing it. Like
Thank
I
you.
said, I feel that right. It's almost like I was like right there with you,
Right.
just
Yeah.
going through, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You share something uh, with my son, and I'm gonna say it. I remember during one of your interviews, you said you went to boarding school,
Hmm.
and my son
Yes.
also went to school, and I could not figure out why my son wanted to go to boarding school. I could not. I'm like, where did you get this from? So briefly, he stated. I'm segueing into the question. He said I wanted to do something called a Dame Dash, and I used to keep documentaries around the house and how, and then that inspired my son to go to all boys boarding school. So tell me briefly about that experience in boarding school, coming from Nepal. Just that brief experience going to boarding school.
So, well, my boarding school was in India, by the way. So I
Okay.
was away from home even then. So it
Mhm.
wasn't in Nepal, which means I was away from home throughout the year, school year, but then come back during winter holidays. Winter holidays are bigger back there because it's really cold. So we had
Mm.
3 months of winter holiday, and then we also had, it's called Puja holidays, which is like Christmas for us. So that's the twice we used to go back home. It
Mhm.
was back in the days, didn't like it, of course. You were sent there by your parents, right? It wasn't my choice. You were
Okay.
sent there, yeah. So I mean, of course, didn't like it because it's very, very strict. It's a very, I went to a place called Darjeeling, a city called Darjeeling in India. It's in North India. It's a hill station. I don't know if you've had Darjeeling tea. It's the popular Darjeeling tea you'll find in Starbucks as well. So that was where I went. And when British colonized India, they had opened a lot of Jesuit schools, and missionaries used to go. There were fathers from Ireland and England, and so we had a very British based education, and it was very, very strict. We were always in uniform, like 24/7
Mm.
uniform. We had uniform for school. It was like, you know, militant, I think, a little bit. We had uniforms for school. We had a uniform for even like games time, which means after school. We had uniforms for that sports uniform, and then we had our night suits. So we were never allowed to wear civilian clothes unless there was some functions in school. It was a strict upbringing, but in retrospect, I think that was great. We learned to depend on ourselves. There was, besides teachers, you didn't have somebody all the time taking care of you, and also with, you know, um, yeah, I guess with interpersonal relationship, you learn from really when you're child, like how to be diplomatic and how to survive amongst,
Yes.
well, so yeah.
Yeah. I think that was, and I share the same sentiment with you because when my son came home finally, he was a different person, but he made that choice, and I'm not tripping on it. But the reason why I'm segueing into that is that how your discipline, your work ethic, your foundational principles that has given you this great platform. Like you are, and for everyone who does not know, Himalayan Soul is one of the biggest. I'm talking about one of the biggest houses on Clubhouse. But in 2022, you received something from Clubhouse called the Icon Award. Now, that it baffles my mind that from this background, from who you are, from how you've cured, how you developed spiritually and mentally, and all these things, you get this award. What was that like, and what was that experience like? Tell the folks.
It was quite shocking for me when they selected me as an icon. That was not at all I thought about. That wasn't the intention. That wasn't why I was on the app. I was just enjoying myself because I love, I don't know if I shared with you guys, but I was a radio host back in the days. I've always been an audio person. So I had very popular shows. This was nationwide as well. I think it was nationwide, but it was a known channel. So I had a show called Love Songs After Dark. And then I used to do Good Morning Kathmandu. So I love audio. And so I was surprised when they selected me to be an icon, because back in the days, being an icon was a huge deal on Clubhouse. And I think I was one of the last ones who was the solo icon. Otherwise, they started the community icon, right? Like 4 or 5 people or 3 people, co-founders and things like that. So it was a ride. Yes, it was beautiful to sort of be but the difference with my icon was, I think what I noticed was, it was the representation of the community. I was representing the community. It wasn't just me. So everybody in Himalayan Soul felt like they were the icons. So that's how they feel that's just how beautiful the community is and was back in the days. Yeah. So it was a great, it was an honor. I was shocked when they invited me to LA to do a photo shoot. I met Joe in person and one more staff from Clubhouse, and it was surreal. Yeah, it was beautiful.
And having that, and having that under your belt, so to speak, having that, the preparation for that. I mean, you couldn't prepare for that. Like the work you put in. But me myself, as the spiritual director of Stays In, you know, the person out of this that really loves spirituality in its essence. How does that? Give me just a brief walk through what your spiritual journey was with this, and the reason why I'm segueing in it, I want to cover things, and I have so many questions, but I want you to be comfortable enough to let us experience you. So in that brief walk through your spirituality, in that, tell us how that has affected you and how that plays into your daily routine, i.e. meditation, i.e. You know, how is effectiveness in this awakening. I read a book years ago. I read a book maybe about 5 years, Dark Night of the Soul. And I mean, if you ain't ready for that, I'm just saying, I'll keep it moving for time purposes. But if you're not aware of your spirituality, and how does that affect your growth now? Is it an important part of you? And how can you collectively speak to us about how important that is?
It is very important for me, spirituality. I don't know if you know, but we also do sound healing rooms on Clubhouse with Marla. We have done sound bath. It's very important. Actually, in fact, the core of Himalayan Soul is that. I always come from that space of just, again, high vibration. And it is when I'm hosting shows or I'm connecting with people, I really mean that. I'm not doing just because the show is happening, right? I do connect with folks even after after the show. It used to be more so often, but I've been quite busy, so I haven't been able to do so. But I've traveled with folks from here, from Clubhouse internationally. Went to India together, went to Amsterdam together, went to, so I've met many folks. But coming back to spirituality, it's very, very important to me to stay in tune with the again high vibration coming, always like setting my intention when I start my room. You'd asked me before about discipline and how I do it. I make sure I start on time. I make sure I stay
Mhm.
consistent. I make sure that we respect each other's time. I make sure that people feel welcomed. I make sure that I will give grace as much as I can give grace to folks, right? So it is compassion. Compassion is so important to come from that space, because I always think of, what about folks who haven't had that access before? What about folks who've never been on an app and been on the stage before? Somebody from rural area, let's say Timbuktu, we have to help them, guide them, right? So those are the things. But again, coming back to spirituality, I listen to a lot of mantras and bhajans, and I love going to spiritual places, whether it be church or temple or gurudwar. Gurudwar is another, anyways, religious space. But I'm open to all religion, open to listening to, I do pray a lot as well, not only for myself but for everyone, because that was what my mom and dad taught me, is like, when we pray, just pray for food, shelter, and clothes for
Mm,
everybody in
mm,
the world. Always pray for them.
mm,
Food, because
Yeah,
those are the
yeah.
basics, right? Food, shelter, and clothes.
mm.
So
My
yeah.
daughter Edie J does the same thing. It's just what you just mentioned
Oh,
about the praying for everyone. I swear to goodness, we do meditation, we
you,
do prayer every morning, and somewhere in there, whether it's the middle or the end, she'll pray for everyone. I just want to pray for everyone. You know what they need, God, and so just go ahead and make sure they have what they need. And I'm just sitting there going, you know what? That is a beautiful thing. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So everyone in the world, there's a girl over here who's praying for you every day.
oh,
Every day, every day. I do the
same
same thing.
here.
Same thing.
And I think that way you also receive the place of, when you are for other people, you're receiving double of that.
Absolutely.
Yes, you're receiving more, actually. You're not. And so yeah. Anyways, Big Crave, back to you.
Yeah, man. Look, I love it. I
Oh
love
no,
it.
this your
This
hour.
is
we getting
woo. This is
we
your
getting the place
hour,
here,
prayer.
and you know what I
This is
mean.
so beautiful. I
But I
wanna.
love
I wanna.
that the spirituality part. I love
Yes,
the
yes.
when you go into her space. If you have not been to Himalayan Soul on Clubhouse, you need to go because it
Woo.
is it is such a peaceful place. And one thing I got to give you is that grace. She will give that grace. She will she's firm. She's stern, but so gracious about it. And the way that she handles, trolls or people who might not necessarily know how to handle themselves in public places,
Mm,
is just I picked up things from her. I literally have, and I just love being there when I can be there. So definitely have cultivated exactly what you were trying to cultivate.
thank you for your kind words.
I love that. I love that about you. And I guess that soul is what is felt, what is experienced in those, especially in your spaces. I can remember first meeting you on the app, and you said Big Clave. You said Big Clave. That's how you say it. I said yes. You were made sure that you didn't botch it up. You made sure, and I said it's all cool. And I've done a poem, and you were like, brother, please come back, please come back. So ever since that moment, maybe in 21, I think it was. I don't know how long ago it was, but the space was so vast, and I don't even think I knew Miss Lady back then. But your space, I followed it from another brother that was on the app, AJ, And I used to see him in there, and then just the conversations back and forth. Um, they moved me to a place of just actually wanting to relax. So if you could put a visual on this, guys, if I want everyone to understand under the current, I want you to feel what I'm saying. This space is an atmosphere. It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be duplicated. That model that you have should be duplicated. And I'm serious when I say that. And it also leads me into your activism. Um, it blows my mind. I was definitely watching something that you shared, and it was the story of Pratima Sher.
Oh yeah.
And that story blessed me. Now, how I love golf so much and didn't know her story bugs me out. Like I can just go boom, to myself, But that activism coming from Nepal, coming from that, how was your activism increased over the years? Your activism, and tell us some of the things that you're actively giving your activism and your energy to, because I want them to know that also about you.
I'm so glad you brought up Pratima Sherpa. She's a very young, inspirational athlete, and that's what I'm making the film about, right? About her. It's a migration story. What happens to somebody when they migrate doesn't have to be from one country to another. It can be from one neighborhood to another, to one state to another. But what becomes of the sense of home? Who do we become
Mm.
when we move? Just like when I was looking for my treasure, I was like, I don't have anything. I moved. What did I bring from home? And these were little things that I found. So we lose a lot, but also what did we gain? Who do we become? So the film I'm making about Pratima is that, and I have always I want to, I've always wanted to contribute to the world, right? To say thank you for having me and giving me this beautiful life, and what can I do to either mentor or to support. And that's what I do in Himalayan Soul, is supporting artists and promoting them most of the time. And that's what Icon was, also why I became the Icon. So my activism now at this age, after uh, after having experienced myself of moving and struggling as a student and doing so many things to create what I wanted for my life, I want to be able to help for others to make their dreams come true. What are they working on? What can I do to help them? That's my activism. Pratima Sherpa was her, I mean, she's a well-known, her story is well-known because ESPN covered her, Good Morning America featured her, Fox Sports brought her. But where is Pratima now? Who is she now? Where is she? What happened to her? So I'm following up with that, the film. But again, we're covering most of the migration part of her. Who did she become? So that's my activism. I want to share her story, a young woman who came from a very, very, very humble family. And sports is an elite, let's say elite game. You have to be able to afford, I mean, sports evolves. And in the midst of that, she became an amateur professional first woman golfer. How did that happen? So did the community play a part? So my activism is all about, again, community, recreating ourselves, creating our world, helping each other, supporting each other, thriving each other, and yeah, we lift each other. So that is my activism now.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it sounds like
that's the space I am in, really. And it is also very spiritual for me as I go back to the question you asked me earlier. Yeah.
yes, and I see that, Prayerna, and it tells me a lot about you. And it looks like it was one of those, like I have personal questions, right? I don't, I try not to project or something like that, but for me, it's a great inspiration. So being that is that idea, the documentary, and especially about her life. And as I dug into it, I saw what her father did. I saw what some of the things that he did for her. Like he made his first club he made for her was out of a piece of wood. And the
Mhm.
people who actually looked at her and actually say, "Hey, this kid is pretty good here with a piece of wood." You know what I mean? So her story is, and as you begin to tell it, I won't tell it again, but as you begin to tell it, I believe the world needs to hear that. So, what are the great inspirations other than that for you? Great inspirations. Like, how is Prayerna inspired? How is she inspired to keep moving and to keep cultivating and having this activism? And what are the goals for the vision of what Prayerna has for the world?
What inspires me is like just day to day life, and just also thinking of my own journey from from just starting from scratch in a whole new country to where I am today. And the youth, look at the youth these days, and I think that it is our responsibility to invest on them in every manner we can. We have to. And this is why, again, Fatima's story, she is a young woman, only child from intercaste marriage, Sherpa, and from another caste. Her father is a Sherpa. Yeah, I'm always inspired to you guys, folks like you who are doing things for the community, holding up spaces like this, everything that you're doing on school, on Clubhouse, all that effort you put in, right, to bring the community together, to support other poets. I mean, you guys are giants in what you do, and EDJ, you young folks like EDJ, mothers like Miss Lady. I mean, that's everything. The amount of, I mean, I loved the relationship, the dynamic between EDJ and Miss Lady, and I'm thinking like, what can I do for this young, energy who's she's so amazing, and that's what inspires me to see like folks trying to do things, bringing people together, all the effort we put for our families and our community, and yeah. So my always comes to what can I do? How can I contribute to the upliftment of humans, of animals, of the world, the planet? I know it sounds very big, but in every little way we can contribute in our own ways, right? So yeah, long
I love
answer
No,
it.
again. I
I
hope
was just
I
telling
answered your
you.
question though.
Oh,
Was
you
it
did. You did. This is the
No, you
part
did
where I kind of
a
segue
great
to my
job.
co-host, so my co-host can
okay?
get the little thing in there. So, Miss Lady, you go ahead. I'll let you just go because I
Yeah,
know you got a
I
lot.
was just talking. I think it had to be earlier this week. It's funny how life works. About how people were always talking about how I wanted to change the world when I was younger. And you're naive. That's what you hear. You hear
Mm,
that it's not possible. When we started off for my second degree at the University of Pittsburgh, we were the pilot program for applied developmental psychology. It was the school and education, so it was psychology and education, and so we were the guinea pigs. That was
mm.
what we did. We were the first cohort, and they always said I know there's a lot of folks in human services right now who remember this. You're not going to make a lot of money in this. You're not going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you came here to make money, switch. But we didn't lose anybody from that. You would think that more people would walk out after hearing that, and yet we wanted to change the world, right? And so what I was talking about earlier this week was that we keep telling people who dream big, you're naive, it's never gonna happen. And yet, like you said, it's that one, it's whatever small part you can have My dad said something, and it made me really rethink some stuff because we kept saying, if I could just change one child. My dad said, if you change one person, you change a generation.
No, that's good.
Absolutely.
And
I believe,
you think about
100%
that.
believe in that.
There's a
Imagine that
lot of
one
people.
person starting a
Hmm.
family, being either father or mother,
Yes,
then that trickles down to that. Then you raise those children, then the children become. That's just how it
yes,
is. Yeah, absolutely. I am.
generations with one person.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
why every room that I do when I do on Clubhouse, and I'm sure you guys do, is very important for me that day, that very day. What are we going to? What is the takeaway? What are we going to do? So and I think, yeah, it's just being mindful and just being aware of, like, we're all human beings. We, of course, there's
Yes.
going to be error, and we're going to lose it one day and all of that, but as long as we come from that intention, it will manifest. It will manifest.
and I just want to
So
say this:
yeah.
there are some folks in the comments who are watching right now. First of all,
Oh, are they?
hello to everyone. And they're
Hello.
in the comments just giving you props and
Oh,
also just
really?
chiming in about number one. It was a little bit a while back. I think it might have been Mick who was talking about how your room means something to him. There are some folks who are chiming in for, basically giving you your credit as well, and also just agreeing with where you're at as far as making that change. And I can't get this out of my head, the comment that she made about wanting to help people make their dreams come true. Like,
Yes.
do you hear how beautiful that sounds, Craig?
Oh
Like,
my
that is,
God. Oh,
I want to help make their dreams come true. That is a lot. That is what an actual testimony, and what an actual thing for you to wake up and say, I want to help make people's dreams come true. I just want to highlight that for a moment, just
yeah,
because.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I do. I remember myself as a young woman, how I was, what dreams I had, and those who were actually very kind to me, and those who actually helped me as well. So I want to definitely, uh, I've come to that age now where I can say, I think I can be be able to coach somebody, or mentor somebody, help
Mhm.
them show the path, um, in whatever way I can. So, in my capacity, of course. Yeah.
Are you
Thank you.
clones? Because we need more Prayernas. We need more. We need more of that. I mean, I'm just saying. No, and I mean for real, because like I said, I've been going to her space for as long as I can remember, and she never changes.
Never,
Oh my gosh, never
never.
changes. She does not talk about being Clubhouse icon. She does not talk about all of these things. There were some things I didn't even know until we had the conversation before the show, and I was just like, "Girl, if you don't tell more about yourself,
Yes.
um, that's why we wanted to do this, because we wanted to celebrate you, Prayerna.
Oh,
You
thank
visit
you.
people's spaces. You support us so much. You sit there, and it'd be early. That woman is there at Wounded Healer Poets Brigade on Saturdays, and I know she's tired. But she visits people's spaces. She supports them. She gives them platforms. She had me and Russ on, Dr. Livingston, who has Empathy Save the Species. My daughter, 15-year-old EDJ. And she did Small House of Poetry. She's going around and she's really just highlighting people in the community, and I just think that that should be celebrated. We were sitting around talking, and we are like, okay, so has she had any interviews lately? Has anybody featured? And it's like, you do so much for so many people. We wanted to return the favor, and also the biggest part is, what don't people know about you? So really getting that other side. We spend a lot of time talking about what people do as their profession as poets, but we don't
Mhm.
spend as much time going
Yeah.
behind the scenes with them for the
Facts.
person, for the
Yeah.
struggle. So I just have to say, I mean, we had about 16 minutes left, and I wish we had like 8 more hours. But
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
but we don't.
Good. We
But
know.
I just have to say, what a pleasure it is to be. And one thing I want to highlight this other thing that you said. There was somebody who was there for you when you were younger, which now you are that person who's there for others. I can promise you that EDJ will forever remember
Yes.
Angel
Oh,
Kim, who that was her first time being on Clubhouse at the age of 10. She will forever remember you. She will always remember Dr. Livingston. Russ, hey Russ, I see you out there.
Yes.
Um, the time that we take, and this is one thing I've talked about. I'm going to just segue for a bit. I talk about how one thing we've lost as a society is the ability for the generations to get together. Now we're just
Mhm.
saying the boomers. We forgot about the silent generation. They're still around. The older generation can learn from the younger generation. That's one thing we learned at the dojang. And the younger generation needs reasons to really
Yes.
you can empathize with, you can relate to older people. And I just love it when the people in the community, regardless of how high you get on the ladder, how many awards you get, when you reach down and you bring other people up. And that's one of the things that makes you, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, I'm just let you know, but also inside as well as outside.
Yes.
absolutely.
A beautiful soul. Yes. Um, and I got so many questions. I hate this
You
really
better
winding
narrow it
down.
down, baby.
Man, I know. But I got one more before we segue towards the end. I need you to speak briefly about what's going on with Everest, man. What's going on with Mount
Oh,
Everest?
wow.
A reason why I'm saying that's on the bucket list for Big Crave. Okay, I'm not climbing it. I ain't.
Oh,
You
okay,
might
because
as well
I'm
forget
like,
that.
I'm not
Now, Big
climbing
Crave
that.
ain't climbing it, but I do want to see Mount Everest. That's on
Oh,
my
I would
bucket
like to
list.
see it.
Yeah, I would like to see it. But briefly, Prayerna, I need people to know that what's going on
Hmm.
with Mount Everest, what's over in Kathmandu, what's happening, and I need you to briefly speak on that as we segue towards closing this out very very shortly. So I need you to really 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 put us in and really bring us on the plug on what's happening over there in Everest, man, for real.
Well, I'm also not very privy of what exactly is happening in Mount Everest. All that I know is that it is beautiful. I have seen it quite closely. Of course, not climb, but when flying, it's the Himalayan range. It's just gorgeous. Um, I know that in the mountaineering world, people would love to summit Mount Everest. Having said that, it brings tourism to Nepal, of
Mhm.
course, but there are also a lot of tragedies. We've heard about a lot of traffic. We also have heard about just people trashing Mount Everest, like leaving stuff and not cleaning up. But then I heard another mountaineer say that they do bring everything back with them down when they're, where they're coming down the. So I would, if I were to speak on it, maybe I wouldn't have the correct information. This would be something of just my thoughts. However, having said that, um, I do want to remember Nim's Die, his Netflix movie film 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible. He just passed away. He had climbed 14 peaks in 6 months and 6 days, and that was 8,000 meter above sea level, and that was record breaking. Like no one had done this in the entire world. So, having said that, they just had a blizzard. Oh, not blizzard, avalanche in Broad Peaks in Pakistan when they were climbing up. So 10 mountaineers, along with Nim's Dai, passed away just last week, and we are grieving. We lost somebody who was amazing and really represented Nepal in the mountaineering world. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. And the reason why I ask because you see it in passing. I think I've watched several episodes about Everest and climate, and I say, man, more power to y'all. Love y'all. More power to you. You can do your thing. As we get ready to flow into the finality of something that I don't want to end, Prayerna,
Yeah, no.
I got
We'll
a
be here for all day.
question.
Like, go get some
I mean,
coffee,
I
come
want to
on
be here
back.
all day just building with you. I know I can, because this is just Big Crave. It has been a pleasure for me just to interview you, just to be in a space with you, just to do it and learn you personally. I can't wait to build with you again. Hopefully that'll be soon. But I want you to leave a question for the next guest. What is that? What is that question that you want to leave for the next guest for them to know or either ask about and have us reflect and have mindfulness about? What would be that question for you?
Wow. Mm. You know what? For a minute, I was like, "Oh my gosh, is he going to ask me to read my poem?"
I was
Because
going
you
to.
had
I
But
said,
see,
"It's
mentioned.
I
coming.
knew she was
Oh
going to
yeah, it's
do it.
coming."
I knew
Hmm.
she was going to do it, but I see you. The
You knew I
universe
was
works it
going to as
out,
well.
baby. The universe works it out. But what is that question first before you do that, and then I'll hand
What
it over to
is
Grace.
that question for the next guest? And I would think that it would be an artist, perhaps, because you all are in that creative space. So, coming from that, I would ask how important it is to be a good soul, a good human being,
Mm.
uh, to become either a poet, an artist, any form of art, how important it is. Because I feel like, this is a whole topic that I've been thinking of, because I feel the energy, even in art, of the artist. So I don't know if this question makes sense, but this is something that
Oh,
I've been
it makes
pondering
perfect sense.
on.
It's a great
Is
question.
I've been pondering on that. Is it important? Do I when I find out that this artist is not a great human being, what becomes what then? How am I receiving that art, even if it is beautiful? Do I
Mm.
still enjoy it? Because art carries spirit. It has its own energy. It's energy, right? So
Yeah, I love that.
I
Now,
love it.
come on, Miss Lady. Come on, come on.
hey,
Okay, so Miss Prayerna,
yes, ma'am.
it's almost like you were ready. Um, Poetry. Do you have something
Oh
that
my
you would
gosh,
like
I
to
thought you guys were
share?
skipping it. We don't have
Not at
time.
all. Not
Do
at
we have
all.
time?
Not at all. Yes, we do.
We got time. Let's
We
go.
got time.
Let's go.
We
All
got
right.
Coming
time.
to the mic,
I don't know which
Miss
one to read.
Prayerna.
Yes. These are the poems are not a recent one. I would say it's like I don't know which one to read. What are you feeling? I have
Whichever one your
I
eyes
have
lay your eyes on.
all
Whatever,
right, let's
whatever,
do that.
whatever their soul calls for. That's
That's
what it is.
right.
Whatever your soul calls for, we
That one
willing to
right
hear.
there. That one.
That one right there.
Let
That
me
That one.
let me open my notes and
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Come on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thank you.
goodness me, what do I do? Oh,
You have
There
the
it
little
is.
butterflies. You got the little
There it
butterflies,
is.
Craig.
There it is. She's got it.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
oh my gosh. You know how I am with poetry.
I know, but thank you so much for overcoming it and sharing these words.
Well, we believe in you.
All right,
Yes,
maybe
we
I'll
do.
do this. I
Okay.
think this was a prompt, perhaps, because I had on Mount Everest as well, and two kind of like, love poems ish. Okay, I'll do this. Mi amor, a love beneath lies is a house bricked with glass walls, so brittle it breaks into misty threads of gossamer at the slightest touch of truth. Tears jerk from the barrels of my blue corazon, and I lay here in the soft belly of February, parting my lips like a red dress, waiting for you to come to me in all the ways you have never. Come to me gently, come to me without disguise,
Mm,
come to me in the right ways, just once,
mm,
even if it is only as a parting gift, a final treasure wrapped beneath the flannel moon, something warm for the cold we became, something true after all the lies, something I can hold when I can no longer hold you, a treasure that is just mine.
mm.
Ooh,
Woo!
oh my God. Amor, corazon. I mean,
Y'all
part.
snap it
This
out.
part like the red dress, the gossamer threads. Oh man, come to me
That's
like
another
you
segment right there.
never. Come to
Woo.
me gently.
Mm.
Ooh, okay, all
Woo.
right. Oh, you
I-
said you had
I'm
another one.
blushing. I'm
I'm
like
blushing
that
too.
with
I'm like,
poems,
I
with
need to
my
borrow that
poems.
to send to somebody. God, that was when I
Oh,
say that when she is poetic, she is pure poetry. You see what I'm saying, Craig? That
Pure
right there,
poetry.
that
Pure
right there,
poetry.
the
Pure poetry.
imagery, like the imagery, the metaphor. What? Okay, you said you had another piece, ma'am.
I do have another piece.
Oh my
Why?
God,
Why do
it's
you ask?
Christmas! It's Christmas! Let's
Sorry,
It's
go!
Christmas today. It's
It's
Christmas.
Christmas!
it's
Oh my God,
Christmas.
Christmas in
Okay.
August. Let's go.
Let's
Oh
go.
Lord.
Let's go. This
Okay,
time
since
is
we talked
pure.
about Everest, this was like a poem I wrote perhaps last year or year before last year. So, okay, daughter of Mount Everest. I am a daughter of Mount Everest. My smile glisten wild, cracking from the crevices of my chapped lips of wisdom. I lick the golden sun while I braid your hair with the tip of my indigo fingers.
Mm,
My soul hums a drum to the beating of frozen rainbows as I
mm,
eat the fermented greens that your lush valleys bring to me and nibble my yak cheese. January is when we sleep hungry, with bellies full of yearnings.
mm,
So come, sneak in and snuggle by the fireside. Drink some butter tea with me. And if you were to leave me, please, and if you were to love me, please love me without ribbons, for ribbons are enticing. They bind what was meant to wander wild. They erect mountains of sins between us, sins that may keep haunting the valleys long after we are gone. So come without ribbons. Come as you are. Nibble on some yak cheese. Drink butter tea with me and love me wild by the fireside.
mm,
Oh,
mm.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm
See,
talking about
that's
right
it.
here. That right there. The repetition that but didn't sound repetitious at all. The I want some butter tea now. Like
Yeah,
I
I
need
gotta have some now.
I
Oh
man,
man.
it
in the
yes,
mountains
I
you get
agree.
butter tea.
Someone said
Mm.
you don't I think it was Mick, you don't share your poems enough. Exactly. That whole
Exactly.
Is
part.
Mick here? Hi, Mick.
Yes, Nick is here. There's a bunch of folks here.
Nick,
There's so many
Russ.
comments.
Russ, hello, Russ.
Yes.
Wow.
Russ is here. A bunch of folks are here. I think I saw Artie Fox in there.
Oh,
Miss
Artie is
Kim is
here.
here.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, they're here hanging out. Yes.
Oh, my.
I wish we
I
had
don't
more time,
usually come out. I don't usually come on camera. I don't
but
usually
that's why
go
we're
on
so
stages.
grateful.
Sorry?
That's why we're so grateful.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. It's
Tell,
been a
tell me
joy.
that this wasn't beautiful for you. Come on. This was a great
It
experience for
was
you. Come on.
lovely. It was so
I'm so
lovely to
glad.
see you all both have a face behind the voices and something that I will cherish because this is so organic and there's just, it's like an extension of Clubhouse. So there's going to be even more connection when we see each other on Clubhouse. We'll
Absolutely.
be like, I know Big
Speaking of which,
Crave. I know Miss Lady. Yeah. Mhm.
Well,
when are
I've def-
your when are your events, ma'am?
yes. Quick.
Say that again.
When are your events? So Himalayan Soul has events
Oh,
on.
yeah. So Himalayan Soul has on Tuesday International Jam Session. That is where musicians, vocalists, poets, spoken word artists get together and improvise. It is 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every other Thursday, we have monologue room for voice acting. People bring their monologues, and we have such a great time. And then on Fridays, I have the Stage is Yours open mic, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Times. We have lots of pop-up rooms, healing sound baths, also up close and personal, where I interview clubs, founders, and artists, and anybody who uh, would really contribute to bring something for all of us by either through their life experience or through their art, their journey. I love to go travel from childhood to where they are today and see the evolution and witness living, talking, breathing human beings'
Mhm.
life, the soul. I love doing that. And recently, Tommy Jackson was one of the interviewees. I just done one, and he just gave us a whole spiel of his entire life on the show.
And you
So it was
just
amazing.
rescheduled Joe, right?
We rescheduled Joe. That's 60 minutes with Joe Armenia, who is the head of the community on Clubhouse, and yeah, it's every first Friday after the town hall. We catch up on the features. We talk about the health of the community on Clubhouse and where the app is going, and just in general have a fireside chit chat. And yeah, and
Speaking
lots
of
of
which, I
coffee.
did reach out to Mr. Joe from from their community, the head of community of Clubhouse, and asked him if he would like to be on. We are trying to work that out. So
Oh wow!
Joe,
Okay,
definitely want you here. Definitely want you here, Joe. Miss
okay,
Prayerna,
wonderful.
thank you. All of Himalayan Souls events are on our school calendar because, well, why not support those who support us? Miss Prayerna, thank you so much for coming out with us. We wish we could stay longer with you, but uh, but we can have you on again. Would you love to come on again with us at some point in time to talk about maybe once we can go into that documentary? Like, I'm so excited about that. But would
Yeah,
you come
it's
on
so
again
much
with us?
fun. If it's this fun, then absolutely be here.
Yes. All right. Well,
Yeah.
this has been Afterglow Sundays. I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful host, Big Crave, to take us on out.
Thank
But
you.
this is
Thank
going to
you.
be on YouTube, so just going ahead and
Hey,
watch it again and
hey,
again.
look, it's
Subscribe,
it's
like
gonna
it.
definitely
Thank
be
you.
there. Thank you so much. Make sure you stay tuned. This Thursday, every second and fourth Thursday of the month. We're going to be bringing the next move. I am your host on Love and Lyrics. Also, definitely make sure you check out us on every Sunday we're here. Also, we have some new things coming up called After
Tuesday.
the Applause. And also, Heretic Hymns is coming soon. So we're briefly going to walk through this thing to let you know that we appreciate you, Prayerna. We thank you for your time. Donya Bad. again to you in your native language. Namaste to you.
Namaste.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day. Thank you so much. What is this? This is Afterglow Sundays, Crossfade Commons. I'm your host, Big Crave. That was the current. And we love you. Stay strong. Peace and love. And remember, love is the key. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Have a great
Verse, voice, and witness. Another Stays In production. Leave with your name, leave.